Hey there, Start here. In one of my previous videos, someone had commented asking if I would demonstrate how I cleared the Slagworm, which is the magical domain of fire and light. So I figure I'll just go ahead and do both sub-bosses. They're both pretty easy. I'll do the Slagworm first just because I think that's probably the one most people... Typically the magic stages are the ones that people tend to have the biggest issues with. The physical stages, not so much. So let's just hop in here. I'll show you how I got this one cleared out. I basically just used Espertivus to nuke it from orbit. All right, because you can use fire or light. So you could either use Espertivus or you could use Genesis. So like what I'm going to show you here, you could easily swap. You could easily do a Genesis clear. Basically all I have here is I have Elena, who's just going to do her Omni cover for turn 1 to cover all the damage. So turn 1 is just a setup turn. Turn 2, you nuke it. Right, just make sure you're using magic. Whatever it is, it has to be magic. So like Genesis uses his Purgatory skill, Tyvus uses his ultimate blink, and then everyone else is just literally support chainers. So like everybody else on this team, with the exception of Luis, who's there for the 90% spirit break, everyone else is kind of just there as like chain slaves. Really, their damage is inconsequential. All right, so don't worry about like having, you know, petite Leftia. You know, don't worry so much about having Tsukiko. Kistis is nice to have, but she's not absolutely necessary. She's just nice because she brings the Imperial Field, and her LB does triple bolting strike. So very, very easy to chain. Anyways, I'll show you the gear here real quick. It's pretty much inconsequential for most people. For Elena, really, she just needs to have some bulk. Like, you see, I didn't even remember to gear her fully. Like, you know, just some general bulk. She's going to Omni cover. It's got 90% mitigation. It's going to deal like 0 damage. So, and it doesn't have to be Elena. Any Omni cover tank, you could use Esther, you could use Chow, you could use Cecil. In any of these tanks that has an Omni cover for turn 1, that's all you need. Okay. Luis, literally just here for her 90% spirit break. Okay. That's pretty much it. She's otherwise just a support chainer. I gave her Scarlet Wave because all of her normal chaining skills are physical type, and so the boss will immune those. So Scarlet Wave is there so that she has a triple bolting strike skill that does magic damage, and that of course comes from Leftia. All right, and you know, she doesn't have to be EX1 or 2. She can be EX0 because we don't need her brave shift form at all. All right. Make sure everyone's got some status resist. I think the boss does something with status ailments. I'm not really sure. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Leftia, you know, just some very basic gear here. She doesn't need any... I didn't even gear her for killers. Like, all this stuff is superfluous, like, really. She's really just here for her LB, which does triple bolting strike and is light elemental magic damage. That's it. So doesn't have to be petite Jewel Leftia, can be anybody. All right. Tyvus is the one that you want to build up. He's gonna hit the damage cap all by himself. Prophet's Diadem, you honestly don't need it for this boss. I think the damage cap is 4 billion. We're gonna do like 10 billion. So Tyvus, this Tyvus, as you see him built here, is gonna hit the damage cap. All right, because it's a one hit. He's gonna hit the damage cap. So you know, if yours is not as strong, as long as he's doing 4 billion damage or higher, you're fine, right? So he doesn't necessarily need all this gear, but this is just, you know, the gear I have him set up with. I don't even think I gave him all the right killers. What is his insect killer? Yeah, he's only like 200% insect killer, so he could be doing even better. You see, I have gear left on him from like a previous clear, like Rage Beast Roar. I don't need that. Anyways, Moonlit Parade or Dazzling Demoness will work here. If you don't have either of those, use Oliveira's Vision Card, Practice Session. That'll be perfectly fine for this boss. All right, so you just need to do 4 billion damage, and you're good to go. All right. Tsukiko can honestly be whatever. She's just a chain slave here. You know, you see I've geared her decently, but this is for a previous clear. She does get, if you've picked up the Parting and Self-Sacrifice vision card off a random pull, she is Earth tagged, so you can use this card on her, but it's really whatever. Her damage, again, is going to be pretty inconsequential, as you'll see at the end. Kistis, you can see I did not even bother to build her. So she is practically naked. All right, she's just here to chain. She's here for the light imperil with the light imperil field. But if you don't have Keistis, then Tsukiko can provide that for you, right? Tsukiko also can do a light imperil with an imperil field on turn 1. So really, you know, there's lots of swaps here. Really, it's just Tyvis doing the nuke to finish the boss. Or if you wanted to do a fire team, put Genesis in there, right? Okay, so well, let's get in there and see how we do it. All right, Elena, we'll go ahead and do Celestial Guard. She'll do Shining Provocation, and we'll do the Attack and Mag Breaks with Pollux Blade. Okay. Before we do that, just because we want to make sure we hit the boss with a weak element, we'll do Blessed Omamori. We'll do Prayer of Protection for the buffs, and we'll do Maiden's Consecration Light. Okay. All right, and let's see. Let's do do Fire Starter. We'll do Modified Gear. We'll do the Diverse Arsenal for the killers, Tactical Armor, and then we will do Incapacitate Target for the Spirit Break. All right, Tyvis, all he really needs to do here is Elemental Burst Light. That's really all he needs to do. You could do, we could do his LB field, because I think everybody else, well, Keistis and Lefty are doing their LBs. You can keep the fire field because Tsukiko and Luis are going to do fire damage, or you can do the LB field. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, this is really Tyvis's show, so all I'm going to do is his 150 amp. That's all I care about. Keistis is going to do Fill LB. Actually, let's do Fill LB. Let's hit the boss twice with light. Again, just making sure we hit the effective attacks score, and then end with Flying Colors, because that does a mag store for her LB next turn. Not that it really matters, because as you can see, I didn't bother building her for damage, but, you know, whatevs. Okay, Leftia can just do Elemental Burst Light, Carbuncle Blast, and Glance Ansing, because that does her mag store and her mod boost for her LB. Oh, it does silence. Okay, which we don't care about. Silence is whatever. It's not going to affect us. All right, so now Keistis does LB, Lefty LB, Tsukiko can shift and do triple Firestorm so that she chains fire with Luis. Luis does Scarlet Wave. Tyvis does Ultimate Blink. All right, and that's it. That's all we do. So Keistis goes first to do the light imperil with the imperil field, followed by Leftia, followed by Tsukiko, followed by Luis, and then finally Tyvis once the chain has ramped up. Oh, he actually didn't hit the cap. Whatever. Yeah, well, I mean, look at that. 11 billion. So we're tripling the damage cap on this boss. Okay, so there you go. Genesis would perform similarly in this scenario. In fact, would do better because Luis brings the fire field. So, you know, all you do is just surround. Genesis with a bunch of chain slaves, and he's going to hit the damage cap for you. So there you go. Tyvis doing the bulk of the damage. Tsukiko doing like almost 2 bill, not so bad. Leftia is whatever. All right. But yeah, like I said, I didn't really build these guys for the fight, so there you go. All right, that's enough to get it done. Perfect score. Excellent. All right. Now, as for the machine, this one, I think I did ice. I think I went ice on this one. I honestly can't remember. It was like day 1. Oh yeah, it's just my typical team for like going through most of the stages. Like, you know, most of the stages I just use a physical team that consists of, you know, Lightning as the leader with Esther, Chizuru, and Sky. All right, so it works pretty much for all the stages. Esther's going to Omni cover. We're going to go with the ice helmet, and then everyone's going to set up turn 1 and burst on turn 2. So here we go. Let's just make sure everyone is status immune. I think it's either paralyzed or confused. All right, it's one of those two. So just make sure they're immune to paralyzed and confused. That's all you really need. We don't really care about... we honestly don't care about Fryevia otherwise. Chizuru is just going to be hanging out in a Brave Shift form, so, you know, this is all just pretty much standard killers. She does have a cool smile, but it's not required to hit the damage cap on this boss. It's just, it works well on Chizuru, because she double dips on it. So I think she's got 300 machine and 300 LB damage. That's all she really needs. Alright, Esther in her Brave Shift form is just whatever. She's just going to be tanking. And then in her normal form, it's whatever. She's not going to be using her LB. She's just going to be chaining. Lightning is going to just stay in her normal form. All right. So she's going to set up turn 1 and then do her LB on turn 2. Okay. She does need status ailment resists. All right. Make sure she's resistant to status ailments. Mine's EX3, so she has her own vision card. You don't need it. It's not required. All right. This boss is not that strong. Okay, oh, let me just check her killers. Oh yeah, she's good on killers. All right, there we go. Kaito in his Brave Shift form, he's really just here for the breaks and to do some chaining with his LB. You see, I didn't even bother to build him for damage here. So, yep, he's whatever. Sky in her normal form, give her some form of preemptive LB boost because she double dips on that. Because this is a two-part LB, so she'll double dip on that, which improves her damage. She can wield a katana, and since we have Chizuru and Kaito, we'll have the katana Imperil in place, which is nice. Make sure you give her Sky High for all the nice static attack. And then just make sure she's got decent LB damage buff, machine killers. She's not even capped on LB damage boosts. That's kind of funny. All right, and then yeah, just whatever gear you have for her. We're going to start her in normal form so she has a full LB, and then we're going to shift her to Brave Shift on turn 1 so that she is status immune. That's why she's got the ribbon there. That way she doesn't get confused, paralyzed, whatever it happens to be. All right, so let's pop in here, see how we get this one done. Alright, so Fryevia, Aurora Key, Triple Azure Riposte just to hit the boss so you get all those effective attacks. Chizuru will do Strong Samurai Spirit. Kaito is going to do Crashing Wave, and then, yeah, we'll just hit the boss. Alright, let's see. Lightning is going to do, we'll do The Whole World is Against Us. How I Live is Up to Me, and we'll just do, I guess we press forward. No, we don't really need to do that, do we? Yeah, we'll do Rusty Engine for the mitigations, I guess. All right, Esther can just do Electromagnetic, Energizing Bunny for the killers, and I guess like Quantum Storm or something. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Sky's going to shift so that she's status immune. All right, just do Sharp Spear Focus. Alright, and let's see, what did I do with Chizuru? Yeah, Strong Samurai Spirit for the buffs for the party. Okay, there you go. Esther covers everything. Alright, Sky comes back to do her normal LB, which is Extreme Nova. Esther comes back. Alright, and she can actually go ahead and just do Chain Light. That way you have 4 people doing Extreme Nova. That just makes it easier to chain. Alright, and Lightning is going to cap. Okay, so we'll send Lightning. You know, it's got a long wind up, as we all know. Oh, Kaito's been blinded. I hope that's not going to be a problem. What I might do then is, let's just do 1, 2, 3, just in case. All right, we're gonna do, I should have made him blind resist, whoopsie. So Fry and Esther will chain triple bolting strike so that we make sure we get our chain hit score, because if Kaito misses due to his blindness, then that's gonna screw our damage, or our chain score. All right, so let's go ahead and send lightning. Wait for the wind up. There you go. Plenty of chains. I'm sure we did more than enough damage. Yeah, 12 billion. So again, we tripled the damage cap, which is only like 4. It's like 4, or maybe it's 4.5 billion, something like that, on these sub-bosses. Alright. And let's see. There you go. Perfect score. Yeah, lightning doing the majority of the damage, but as you can see, Sky and Chizuru did enough by themselves to hit the damage cap. So even if your lightning is only like EX0 and you're just using her for the leader skill, that should be fine, right? All right. So there you go. Those are your sub-bosses. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I am going to show you an updated clear on my fire team. I made some modifications. I swapped out Ling and put in Rosa with my original fire team, and was able to improve my score. So I'll show you how I did that. I'm doing like around 33 billion with that team now. So I'll show you how I did that. My lock will be EX2 after maintenance once his VIP shards hit the shop, and then I'll do one more clear, I think, with my EX2 lock to see if I can improve my score one more time, because he should do more damage than my Flaring Ether Rain, so I'm thinking he'd be a good swap in for Flaring Ether Rain on my fire team to improve my score. But yeah, anyway, stay tuned. I'll have my updated clear for my current fire team to show you guys later on today, and then after maintenance this week, I will do one more clear with my EX2 lock. So thank you guys for following me, and I will see you on the other side.